The Little Elves. Once upon a time, there was a small village which was a happy and prosperous place. Every evening, as soon as the inhabitants were asleep, some kindly elves would come and clean the streets and tidy up to keep the village clean and neat. The elves worked in a small group, going into each house and doing any work which the people had not had time to finish. One night, they went into the carpenter's house and found him asleep at his bench as usual. The little fellows sawed and planed and nailed the wooden planks so well they made window frames in a trice. Then they took a ladder and some tools and fitted all the frames in the houses of the people who had ordered them from the carpenter. When they had finished, the elves moved to the plasterer's workshop. They worked with such skill and speed that when they had mixed the plaster, they had enough time to do several walls. Until the bakery, where they lit the ovens, made the dough, and popped the loaves in the oven to bake. What a wonderful surprise for the baker when he woke up! The kindly elves never forget the housewives. In every house, they cleaned the floor and did the washing and ironing. Now, the butcher was a good man, well liked by everybody. People came from far and wide to buy his sausages. But he was overworked, so every night the little elves would prepare the meat while the butcher slept. They minced the meat for the sausages, smoked the hams, and even filled the sausages and the pies. They took great care in their work. Everyone had a particular job to do, and the results were excellent. Every night, the wine merchant was so drunk that he fell asleep before finishing his work. The elves forgave him because he was a good-hearted man, and they bottled the wine, corked and labeled the bottles, and put them in the racks in the big cellar. The village tailor was very poor and sick, but he had a nagging wife who never stopped accusing him of being lazy. "Let's finish these suits quickly," agreed the elves, "so that the poor man can get a bit of rest." And in just a few minutes, they had cut the material and seamed and sewn the suits. The next morning, the tailor awoke with a higher temperature than ever. When he saw his work finished, he gave a great sigh of relief. "Thanks to the kindly elves, I can go back to bed," he thought. But his wicked wife kept on shouting that he was lazy. "I'm ill," protested the poor man. "Ill? You good for nothing," sneered his nagging wife. The tailor explained that his work was finished. "Oh, I see. Those miserable elves have been here doing your work again, making you lazier and lazier," screamed his wife. The following night, she scattered dried peas all over the shop and waited for the elves, armed with a broom. When the poor elves slithered and slipped on the peas, the nagging wife chased them out of the shop with her broom. The little elves were so upset by such ungrateful behavior that they never came back to the village. The inhabitants, who had to start doing their own work from that day on, never spoke to the wife of the tailor again.